like to call the February 23rd, 2024 Kenner Council meeting to order, please. If you can have your seats. All right, in accordance with Council Resolution B14550, please be advised that all cellular telephones and other devices of the nature must be deactivated or silenced throughout the council meeting. Let's call the meeting to order, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. You have a quorum. Councilwoman McKinney is absent.
Okay. Any special intentions this morning before we do a prayer? Council? No special intentions? Okay. No. Councilwoman D. Dunn, would you please lead us in the prayer, please? This time I'd like to ask Council Clerk Teresa Hastings to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, sir. Correspondence reports for the mayor, from mayor, CAO, or department heads.
Mayor Glazer.
Thank you, Ellen. Good morning.
Good morning.
A couple comments about things going on in the next couple of weeks here in the city. This Sunday, February 25th, the city's annual Black History Festival will take place here in Rivertown, right behind this building, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It'll include live performances, dance showcases, delicious food, and unique crafts. And related to that, Ms. Timothy Shaw has a short presentation.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We want, in honor of Black History Month, we got with the mayor's office, and we wanted to not only focus on our festival, but also the history of African Americans in the city of Kenner. You've had many resolutions come before you. One was how many African Americans were elected after Reconstruction. Was one of the resolutions that come before this body. Also recognizing the achievements of those who have come through the city. So what we did was we started with doing a documentary. In this documentary, we focused on Mr. Joseph James, who was born in 1928, but he's had an extraordinary experience living in the city of Kenner, from being an educator to also working for the city of Kenner. He was the first of many in the city of Kenner. He was the first African American Community Development Director, as well as the first executive to work in the mayor's office under Joseph Yenning. So we have done a documentary. It's going to be available on YouTube, but we want to just show a snippet here of what's available on YouTube. And I want to thank also Robin and Bobby for their work. This has been many hours. Unfortunately, one of the people we wanted to interview was former Councilwoman Wilma Irvin. She knew we had reached out to her, but unfortunately she passed before we could get her also for the interview. So just want to play a snippet right now.
Welcome to the City of Kenner. I'm Mayor Michael Glazer. February is the month that our country has designated as Black History Month, a month that recognizes the struggles and accomplishments of African Americans in this country. As the Mayor of the City of Kenner, we would like to introduce segments that highlight the past, present, and future of African Americans in our community. We will hear from some notable African American Kenner residents as they discuss the pride, endurance, and contributions to the development of the city of Kenner. Here are their stories.
He enrolled at Southern University of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial and Technical Education on January 27, 1951.
Let me give you a little story here. When I went to Southern, it used to be a train station right here at Williams Boulevard, and the track, I caught the train there and rode all the way up to Scotlandville, that's where it's located, and got off maybe about 3 or 4 blocks from the campus, and the train put us off right there at the stop, in the right place. And the taxi cab drivers, naturally, they're there to pick up students to take them on campus, which was only a few blocks. We could have walked, but we didn't know, so they put us in a cab and they rode us all around Scotlandville. All around Scotlandville, to boost the price. And then they took us to the campus and let us out.
So, like I said, this video is available on Kenner's YouTube page, and I want to thank Robin and Bobby from our communications department who did an awesome job of putting this together. This is a quality production. And also I want to thank Mr. James couldn't be here today. He and his wife are actually out of town today, but his son is here, Mr. Kenneth James, and he is the narrator for it. So he took time out also to make this happen. So like I said, in just honor of Black History Month, because like I said, it's just not about party and parades. It's about the history of African Americans in the city of Kenner. So we welcome everyone to come out on Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamithia. And some sports registration stuff. Beginning Monday, February 26th, spring sports registration will begin for baseball and softball, ages 7 through 12. And T-ball, there's two groups, 4 and 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds. So registration starts Monday on the city's website. Also, there's 4 versus 4 indoor soccer at Butch Dewey in partnership with NOLA Sports. That registration is begins Monday also. And another popular thing that fills up quickly is Tea with the Bunny, March 23rd at 10:30 a.m. The registration is now open, but I'm not sure they're going to have any places left because it goes quick. Also, information and registration for the summer camps, the one we put on by the city and the 2 we partnered with, can be found on the city's website. And also, Friday free play reminders, basketball 6 to 8:30 at Susan Park, Lincoln Manor, and Buddy Lawson, and the popular pickleball from 4:30 to 8:30 at Galatas Gym. I expect to see you there. Next weekend, March 1st through the 3rd, is the city's annual Italian Heritage Festival here in Rivertown. A lot of cuisine, crafters, artists, live music. It starts Friday at 6 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday at noon. So it's here in Rivertown. It's a large production put on by that whole group that does a good job. So we have a new garbage provider starting next Friday, a week from today. You can see some cans are being picked up, some cans are being put out, but I'm gonna call on Val Brolin to give you a little more information on the questions that we're receiving about garbage in the mayor's office. So, I mean, it's just a couple of her comments will clear up a few things of the repetitive questions we get.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I think we should all start with a deep breath. Thank you to all of you for your patience and understanding as we go through this process. Thank you to your staff. If you could please pass that along. Thank you to the staff in all of our departments that are receiving the multitude of phone calls and emails. Everyone who worked for the city of Kenner has been just awesome dealing with this, and it has been quite the week. So with all that being said, I just want to take a moment to address some of the most common issues that we are being hit with. As I said, our phones, are ringing off the hook. So ultimately, when IV Waste and Mr. Torres notified the mayor that they were quitting as of March 1st, we had to find another provider. We found another provider. We now are going to be receiving curbside pickup from Waste Pro. Waste Pro immediately began distributing their cans. However, their cans will not begin to be collected by Waste Pro until March 1st, when their contract for service begins. IV Waste has stated that they will pick up curbside garbage through February 29th, but for whatever reason they had determined that they were going to start collecting the cans that we need to put the trash in for them to pick up on the 22nd, over a full week before they were going to end service. Why, we don't know. And then, much to our surprise, Monday morning, every one of us woke up to IV cans being picked up on February 19th, quite a few days before the 22nd. So naturally, we have been contending with a lot of upset and concerned residents who don't know what to do with their trash because they don't have a can to put it in through the remainder of IV's services with the city of Kenner. So this is what we can only say to do. IV is supposed to be picking up anything that is bagged and placed curbside on the collection day you are designated. So if you do not have your container, your IV waste container anymore, you put your bagged garbage curbside, or if you have a private container that you purchased, then you can also use that as well. They should pick it up. In essence, should they be picking up what someone might accidentally or may think they can put in a Waste Pro can? Technically, maybe, but your chances of that actually getting picked up by IV hoppers is low. So we don't want to tell you to do that. We will be seeking, we will be contending with IV and their decision making as it relates to this. But as of now, all we can do is do the best we can to get the trash picked up curbside. So place your bagged garbage curbside. Do not use that Waste Pro green and blue can until March 1st. Okay? Now, IV is supposed to be picking up black garbage cans and the black recycling cans that they could have, in essence, picked up a year ago when they no longer collected our recycling, but now they should be taking them. You keep your green Ramelli recycling can. The Ramelli recycling contract is, nothing changes with that. It remains exactly the same, okay? So recycling, nothing changes. Now, handicap services. We do have doorside service for disabled residents in the city of Kenner. Unfortunately, we only have a list that is approximately 11-ish months old from IV Waste. We cannot receive an updated list from them. What that means is that Waste Pro, when they finish delivering their last 3,000-ish carts, that's what we think that they have left in their portal, Amy? So they're down to 1,700, so they're killing it, okay? When Waste Pro finishes the last 1,700 deliveries of cans, they're gonna go back around, they're gonna take that list of the 200 and some odd addresses we have that get that doorside service, and they're gonna place handicap stickers on those cans that have been delivered, okay? However, if you are a disabled resident in the city of Kenner and you have established doorside service within the past year, we ask that you please email us at cokcommunications@kenner.la.us, or you can call 504-468-7240. This way, we can check to see if you were in the database, and if you are not, but you are currently receiving that service, we can add you to it, okay? The reason for this, the reason I'm concerned about this is because our list that we have, we can't get an updated list. The list we have is almost a year old. Now, now we're realizing we've produced this FAQ page that we put on the Kenner website for frequently asked questions as it relates to garbage and recycling. A lot of residences are now realizing that we do have this disabled doorside service, okay? A lot of residents didn't utilize it because they didn't know that it was offered. So we are also getting an influx of calls and emails for people who do not already have established disabled doorside service and would like it. We ask that you guys please be patient with us for those requesting new service, that as soon as we get the wave of cans delivered, then the handicap stickers placed on those who already have established service, then we will go back through and start the vetting and verification process of those wishing to establish new disabled doorside service, okay? But we will be working as quickly as we possibly can to do that as well. I think that covers most of what we've been getting phone calls on. However, I'm available. You all know how to reach me. If there are any questions on anything that I have not covered, please feel free. Councilman?
I've been getting calls that Ivy Waste is picking up the second can that the resident purchased. And I've got about 4 of those addresses. And I sent an email to the Kenner Dispatch, and they said in the email, the reply, that they'd given it to management to figure out how we get those people's cans back they ordered. So that might be something you would like to, request information on.
Yes, so, unfortunately that is happening, and we're going to have to just, ask the residents to please reach out to them if that's the case, and if that does happen, and we'll have to, and if honestly, the best thing that you can do, it sounds terrible to say this, is please don't place your second can where they can get it. I know that sounds terrible, but if you would like to retain that second can that you paid for out of your own pocket and not have them take it, please place it behind your fence, behind a gate on your private property. And also, we've encouraged residents. Unfortunately, there has been a few instances of trespassing. Please call 911. Please report that.
Ms. Berlin,
Yes.
when Jesse Murphy was here last meeting with Waste Pro, the concept of the purchase of the second can, he told me that they would replace that second can if the resident could provide proof of the financial transaction purchasing the second can, so they can get a new can from Waste Pro for free, since they already purchased one from the other provider.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do, because
Yes.
both my cans were I wanted to get new ones. So
Yes.
I'm personally doing that. I don't know if George was aware of that, but yeah, I'm sure his issue also is valid, but that's what I'm personally going to do based on what Waste Pro told me.
Yes, Waste Pro will provide, and that's on our FAQ page, Waste Pro will provide you with that second container that you purchased, if you just can provide them with proof of purchase.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Okay.
The problem that you run into is that I think Ivy Waste should have told the people picking the cans up that you only take 1 garbage can from each residence. If they have 2 out there, it's obvious that the person purchased the can. So that would make common sense to me.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Valerie, I want to ask you, if you have 2 cans, will you be charged twice or just once?
Once, one can is what, is distributed. If you purchase another container, if you have a second container, you're not going to be charged twice for it.
That's what they wanted to know. Thank you.
And just to clarify for the LSU fans out there, and maybe even on the council, these cans are 2-lane green wave colors.
They are.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I
They
was seeing that
certainly
correctly.
are.
And Councilman Browning would probably like 4 of those, so we'll talk to the people at Waste Pro. Thank you all for all your
Any
help.
other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I will have an LSU can.
All right, we all know where to find me, and we'll get through the next weeks or so together. Thank you so much.
All right, and I'm almost finished. To keep the council and the residents updated with this garbage litigation that has somehow consumed us in the last month or two. February 14th of this year, the Louisiana Supreme Court ruled against Ivy Waste in their latest appeal. So that's their third appeal. They lost. So now maybe we can get in court and go over the facts of this case and bring it to conclusion. I also like to thank the IT department for putting these nice monitors, and the council members, if you can't see, have huge monitors in front of them where they can see. It's better than the mobile one that we roll out over here. It looks a little better. People can see and hear a lot better. And also on the last thing, some council members and I participated this morning in a Kenner Police Department graduation. So I think it's 14 new Kenner policemen that graduated this morning that'll start their second phase of training. So, and according to Chief Conley, he is ramping up another academy next month. So we'll have a pretty good police force now. The numbers are going to be back right where they need to be, so after this next academy. And you'll see something on this agenda about automobiles. It's a task to get automobiles these days, so that's why it was done this way. And when it comes up, I can answer. I think Tommy's here on behalf of the chief to answer any questions. That's it.
Thank you, Mayor Glazer. Thank you, Valerie Burrell. And Timothy Shaw, thank you for your presentation earlier. I very much enjoyed it. Thank you for all your work you do. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir. Do we have any resolutions, motions, or other items from the floor? Seeing none, we'll move on. The consent agenda, item 1, approval of minutes, the regular council meeting of February 8th, 2024. Item 2 is approval of alcoholic beverage permit applications. Item 2A is a resolution granting an alcoholic beverage permit to Kenner Italian Heritage Incorporated on March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 2024 at the Rivertown parking lot, 400 Williams Boulevard, being property owned by the City of Kenner, Kenner, Louisiana. Item 3 is approval of bingo and public gathering applications. Item 3A is application number 2383-24, Divine Mercy Roman Catholic Church, to hold a public gathering on March 2nd, 2024, from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the purpose of a church and school fundraiser at Divine Mercy Roman Catholic Church and St. Elizabeth Ann Seton School, 4337 Salentini Parkway, Kenner, Louisiana. Item 3B is application number 2386-24, Kenner Italian Heritage Incorporated, to hold a public gathering on March 1st, 2024 through March 3rd, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for the purpose of celebrating the contribution of Italians to the area at 400 Williams Boulevard, Kenner, Louisiana. Item 4 is acceptance, rejection of bids requiring an expenditure of less than $5,000. We have none. Item 5 is change orders requiring an expenditure of less than $5,000. We have none. Item 6 is acceptance of committee findings for final passage. We have none. Item 7 is re-subdivision ordinances for final passage. Item 7A is summary ordinance number 13,464, an ordinance approving the plan of re-subdivision of lots 6 through 10, square 5, lots 1 through 20, square 7, and tract L into lot 8A, Centennial Subdivision, Kenner, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana, case P-1-24.
A motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Any discussion on the topic? Seeing none, council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, motion passes 6-0. Under the public appearance agenda, item A is public hearings for final passage. We have none. Item 9 is ordinances for the sale, purchase, transfer, lease, and/or alienation of immovable property. We have none. Item 10 is opening of bids. We have none. Item 11 is reclassification of zoning for final passage. We have none. Item 12 is other ordinances. We have none. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. Item 13A, a resolution authorizing the placement for temporary signs on public property for Kenner Italian Heritage Festival.
A motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Yes. Yes, Eric Mund, how you doing?
This one is actually was loaded incorrectly. The wrong vendors on that one.
Okay.
Coming up on the next meeting, corrected. So if we just remove this one from the agenda, we would appreciate it.
Yes, we can definitely remove it.
Do we need a motion to do that, or just?
Yes.
Okay,
please.
so I'll motion to remove it to reset to the next agenda.
Yes. Motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn to remove. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Moving on, item 13B, a resolution providing for an honorary designation along Helena Street beginning at 30th Street to Duncan Canal to Joseph Jesse James Lane and other related matters. Mr. Chairman, I've received a request from the administration to remove this from the agenda.
Okay.
Motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot to remove. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,458, an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with Vulcan Incorporated doing business as Vulcan Aluminum for the purchase of aluminum sheet and sign blanks, increasing the agreement by $40,000 annually for a not-to-exceed amount of $80,000 annually.
Motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Mr. Al Morella.
Al Morella, 4260 East Loyola Drive, 5th District, 52 years. I need an explanation on the increase.
All right, Mark Glorioso. Good morning.
I think Mr. Eric Munn's going to give an explanation. This is the one we actually wanted to pull and remove.
Okay.
So I'll let him explain.
Sorry about that. I spoke with the wrong, I was the wrong number. I got distracted by which one was that? 15A was the one we were hoping to remove.
Okay.
Which one did I have?
Yes, for the Kenner Tyne Festival temporary sign. So can we? Yeah, that was kind of.
You removed the one, Mr. Munn, you removed the one where the assistant city attorneys actually get a salary. So, thank you.
So Council Clerk, let's remove this one. I want to put the other one back on. If we can do that. I mean, that's.
All right, so I believe we can take 13A under 19, under unfinished business, under motions to reconsider. Or
That's fine. We can do it then.
I think we can take it there.
Just remind me then, please.
Okay, all right. So we are now 15A. This is the one that we want to have a motion and a second to remove, correct?
Yes,
Mr.
as
Munn?
requested by the City Attorney's Office.
Okay. So a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Dunn to remove. All council members in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion passes 6-0. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,459, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of laptops and related items on an as-needed basis from Lenovo under State of Louisiana contract number 44000287711 in an amount not to exceed $200,000 annually.
Got a motion by Councilmember Schwartz, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? No? Seeing no one, council members in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, motion passes 6-0.
Okay.
Item 15C is summary ordinance number 13,460, an ordinance ratifying the emergency purchase of 5 Ford Interceptor vehicles from Kurt Auto Group in the amount of $219,500 for the Kenner Police Department.
Motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. Anyone wishing to speak on this item 15C? No. Seeing none, council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Mr. Chairman, motion passes 6-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,059, 461, an ordinance approving a professional service agreement with T. Baker Smith LLC regarding the resurfacing of Loyola Drive, 31st Street to West Loyola Drive, state project number H.015554, federal aid project number H015554, in an amount not to exceed $266,685 for the Department of Public Works.
I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Mr. Al Morella, please, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Al Morella, 4260 East Loyola Drive, 52 years, 5th District. I'm in favor of any improvements in University City, but in conjunction with this item on the agenda, we got a 15-year project that's not completed. And that 15-year project is the curbing for 4200 block of East Loyola and 2 blocks on West Loyola, further down, you know, from where this project's gonna take place. So I'd like to know, after 15 years, we still don't have that curbing in that block. When can we expect that project to be completed after 15 years?
Okay.
Councilman Brennan?
We'll have to get an update and let you know.
Okay, because just recently, some of the neighbors, the street seems like it's not wide enough for them, so they kind of like tore up the neutral ground because there's no curbing there. So we need that curbing, and like I said, it's 15 years in the making.
Okay.
So we can expedite that, and let's get that curbing. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Anybody got any comments, any questions?
No, thank you, Al.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Council? No. Councilors in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Motion passes 6-0. Item 15E is summary ordinance number 13,462, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Black Star Diversified Enterprises to purchase LED lighting and materials in accordance with seal bid number 23-6802 in an amount not to exceed $64,268.50.
Got a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. Anyone wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, councilors in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Mr. Chairman, motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,463, an ordinance ratifying the emergency replacement of a 250 horsepower blower motor at wastewater treatment plant by Motors and Controls Incorporated in the amount of $19,998 for the Department of Wastewater.
Motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Schwartz. Anyone wishing to speak on this item, 15F? Okay. Seeing none, councilmembers in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Mr. Chairman, motion passes 6-0.
Okay.
Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance ratifying the emergency repair of the Fairbanks Moore submersible pump at 24th and Delaware Lift Station by Fluid Process and Pumps LLC in the amount of $20,775 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16B is an ordinance ratifying the emergency repair of the hydromatic rotating assembly at Chateau Cameron Lift Station by Fluid Process and Pumps LLC in the amount of $6,047 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16C is an ordinance approving an increase to the not-to-exceed amount established by ordinance number 12,044 to provide cellular wireless service from AT&T Corporation utilizing state project number 44000200576 for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16D is an ordinance authorizing the purchase of Chevrolet vehicles on an as-needed basis from Jerry Lane Chevrolet under state contract number 44000237794 in an amount not to exceed $500,000 annually for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16E is an ordinance accepting the quote received from Keys Auto and Truck Repair Incorporated for parts and labor to repair Unit 205 in the amount of $10,952.26 for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16F is an ordinance approving a 3-year agreement with Leads Online LLC for a software subscription service in an amount not to exceed $25,000 annually for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16G is an ordinance approving an agreement with Vanderbroek and Company LLC, certified public accountants for financial consulting in an amount not to exceed $90,000 for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16H is an ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD, state project number H.011670, regarding I-10 and Loyola Drive interchange improvement signal maintenance. Item 16I is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from TKC Unlimited LLC for the demolition and removal of two-story concession stand at Green Lawn Playground in accordance with letter bid number 23-2097 in the amount of $12,000 for the Parks and Recreation Department. Item 16J is an ordinance authorizing the utilization of existing Jefferson Parish contract number 55-000-21637 with Truck and Transportation Equipment Company Incorporated to purchase vehicle bodies and accessories for city vehicles on an as-needed basis not to exceed $150,000 annually for the Department of Fleet Management and Fire Department. Item 17 is reports from the council and our special committees.
Councilman Wilmot.
I have just a general question regarding the contracts regarding the Kenner Police Department, the purchase of vehicles. I don't know who would be able to answer this, but 15C refers to 5 Ford Interceptors, and then you have 16D, which is on the agenda for next meeting. It refers to Chevrolet vehicles, and I'm just curious as to what we're going Ford and Chevy. What's the reasoning, if you will?
I know they have them now. Some are Tahoes, the larger of the SUVs, and the Fords are the smaller ones that you see, the SUVs. The issue with Ford is, according to Tommy Powell just this morning, an order that was placed in 2022, they just received last week. So, and Ford no longer honors their contract price when they, like for example, if you go on state contract today, and you get a car that you ordered 2 years ago today, you pay in the current price. It's not the contract price that you, when they place the order. And there's some, the Fords come out of Bow Bridge, a dealership there that has the state contract, and they have some of them ordered now that they can't even give you a build date on them. So it's going to be another 2-year turnaround probably.
So we have Ford and we have Chevy. Are we going to we kind of buy both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's been for years.
Okay,
We've purchased both, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any Corvettes, Mayor?
Nope. They only got one guy that buzzes around town in a black one, so.
Yes. At this time, District 4, Jefferson Parish, Councilwoman Rita Bohannon is here today, and I understand from Brian Brennan there's some kind of public gathering you wish to address us about. So, pursuant to council rules, we're going to let you speak to us and let us know what's going on. Good.
All right,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. I'm excited that we've been working with the city on a drainage project that's going to be happening in the Wood Lake Estates neighborhood. We are going to be having a public information session, and we'll be posting this online, but you guys are just kind of getting an early heads up. It's going to be March 18th at 6 p.m. at the Kenner City Pavilion, and it's a drainage improvement that's going to be servicing the Wood Lake Seton Park area. So anyone interested in attending, please do. And of course, we always invite the city council and the mayor to come and join us. It's going to be lots of fun. So thank you. Appreciate the time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Bohannon. Good to see you today. Also, we have Councilman Brannigan.
Thank you, Council President. I've been getting a lot of calls, as everyone up here has and throughout the administration, on this garbage stuff. And I want to just clarify one thing. You are starting March 1st, with the new green and blue cans for the waste, for the garbage, you'll start using that on your pickup date. We've had a lot of questions about what to do with the green recycle can, and that can is to be used continuously. We started using that one last March. It's been a year, and we are continuing recycling as it is today into the future. And basically, you need to have a green and blue Waste Pro can and a green recycle can if you're recycling, starting on March 1st. Thank you.
Councilman Brennan.
Thank you. Thank you, Council Chair. I just have a brief comment to make on the garbage issue as well, and a couple of things Ms. Brolin touched on, so I'm sorry to be repetitive, but it was just included in what I was going to discuss or say. In 2018, Christy McKinney, George Brannigan, Tom Wilmot, and I were elected to represent our city and our neighbors on the Kenner City Council. An oath, pardon me, an oath was taken then and again in 22 with some changes as council members McKinney, Brannigan, Wilmot, and I were re-elected, and new council members Dunn, Schwarth, and Lahat were elected and took that oath also. More importantly at that time, Mayor Mike Glazer was elected, thankfully in a landslide, over an incumbent who came up short with the voters. During his campaign and since, Mr. Glazer pledged honesty, transparency, and accountability. That promise has been kept, even if it has made some people mad. There are always two sides to every story, and that applies greatly to the current garbage situation. There have been questions about invoices and their accuracy, and at times with incorrect supporting documentation apparently, particularly invoices from Ivy Waste. These invoices total a great deal of money, taxpayer money that Mayor Glazer took an oath to protect. Some invoices included duplicate addresses and even non-existent addresses. Were these erroneous or intentional? Remember, Ivy Waste has walked away from their contract and the citizens of Kenner. An end date of February 29th was given and advertised. However, garbage cans began getting collected this past Monday, the 19th, although a date of the 22nd had also been provided. It is worth being noted that government offices were closed on the 19th, erroneous or intentional. The majority of calls and comments that I have received have mostly been with the concern for service moving forward with a new contractor rather than any increase. These are a result of the service that constituents received when IV began and maintained for quite some time. The quality of service has never been questioned until recently, since a decision was made by the company that new cans would not be delivered, nor would repairs be made. In closing, I say this because I know it, I see it, and I experience it daily. The citizens of Kenner could not ask for better representatives than my fellow council members, the administrators, the employees, the police and fire chief, and this mayor. To reiterate, there are always two sides to every story. I urge people to remember to listen to both sides. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Brennan. Any other council members? Councilman Schwarth. I'm going to.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Mayor, I got my constituent, I got two that wants to know. One, God forbid, if IV doesn't pick up for the remaining of the month, do we have a plan B?
IV doesn't pick up what?
That they just, instead of walking away on the 29th, if they walk away on Monday morning, they say, we're not coming back, is there a plan B to
Yes.
pick up the garbage?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Basically, that's it. Thank you.
And also, just to clarify or just to add a little more to George's thing. The recycling and drop site, it has 2 years left in that contract. It's a whole separate contract. So in 2 years, the decision is going to be made, do you still want recycling and a drop site? Because it's one fee for both services. So, a lot of people say they don't recycle, so they don't want to pay for it, but they use the drop site. So it's one fee for the two services. So we're going to talk trash again in a year, no matter what, but it's recycling and the drop site. So I just wanted to make sure that people know that it's not going to be garbage again. It's this garbage contract's 10 years. The expiring Ramelli contract will be what replaces it, if anything. And that's it.
Thank you, Mayor Glazer. Anyone else on the council? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and/or motions to reconsider or remove from a tabled position. At this time, we'll take 13A.
Yes.
Item 13A is a resolution authorizing the placement for temporary signs on public property for Kenner Italian Heritage Festival.
The motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, council members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay.
Motion passes 6-0. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Okay, at the podium, Mr. Al Morello, you have 3 minutes, and good to see you today.
Thank you. Al Morello, 4260 East Loyola Drive, 5th District, 52 years. Before I start, I'd like to get a moment of silence for the 2 policemen and the firefighter paramedic that were brutally murdered, killed in Minnesota. Thank you. Also, I'd like to give special mention to Mr. Vincent Henry, longtime resident of Kenner, Vietnam Navy veteran, just passed away recently. Condolences and prayers to his family and his extended family. Now, I too was at the ceremony for, it was 16, man. I got a head count. 16 of them. I want to welcome them to the department, and I want to let them know that I support the Kenner Police Department, the JPSO, and law enforcement from one end of this country to the other 250%, and always will. And we need a collaborative effort between the community and law enforcement. Surrendering our neighborhoods to thugs is no option. That's not even an option. And unfortunately, it's happened in our city because people don't care and they don't want to get involved. And so the Kenner police can't be everywhere 24/7. We have to work with them. Okay. Now, I want to say this to you, Councilman Lahat. The crime, the shooting that took place in Beachview Heights, I got a lot of them at the Kenner Housing Authority meeting Tuesday night. That was one of our units over there. Where that happened, the people are still in the unit. It's going through the judicial process right now, and I'm going to do everything I can to expedite getting those people out of there. So I wanted to pass that off to you right now. That's why I attend those meetings, and that's why I like a detective at that table at every meeting, to get past this information, to get this information to them. Now, one more thing. I want to direct this to you, Councilwoman Dunn. The rebuilding of the affordable housing, Glenwood Apartments, and the scattered sites is in negotiations right now. The forms have been filled out with JEDCO, and they're waiting to hear a response from JEDCO. They're going to contact the city of Kenner and include the city of Kenner in what's going on if they haven't done so already. I'm on top of it. I'm going to stay on top of it until that financing is approved and that project gets started for these 200+ families. Black History Month. I want to close with this. In 1870, there were 17 congressmen in Washington, D.C., black congressmen. You had 2 in the Senate, you had 15 in the House. They accomplished a lot of civil rights the legislation, a lot of good causes. But the one thing they did was the poll tax. The poll tax was designed after the Civil War to suppress the voting rights of black voters and disenfranchise them. That poll tax wasn't eliminated till almost 100 years later by the 24th Amendment to the Constitution on January 23rd, 1964.
Mr. Morella, your 3 minutes just expired, but I really,
Thank you very
really
much.
appreciate everything.
All right, one more thing. Anybody got any comments, any questions? Thank you.
Mayor Glazer?
Yes, Mr. Allen, for everybody, we're going to have I don't know if it's going to take place at a council meeting or a public meeting on the housing development in the near future. I wanted a little more information. They're gathering it now, and then we'll schedule something where everybody can have input in, because it's going to be something a little different here, than what it was, or the proposal was a little different than what it was. So we'll have a public input and council input, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Morella. Next up on the list to speak from Chris Condi. Mr. Condi, good morning. You have 3 minutes, and you can start now.
Actually, my first time going to a council meeting. Somebody, kind of was at a school meeting, but anyhow.
Okay.
Trying to stay there. And I guess in I was kind of like, through different times.
Get closer to the microphone so we can hear you, okay? Sorry.
And it's like probably through different times. The different times with the garbage thing and all that. And I seen what they keep, y'all keep like the companies replacing garbage cans. And I was glad when they had recycling. When I to that with the recycling, I was glad. And y'all had the bins, smaller bins, and with the bigger bins, I was glad. Then y'all changed to the green bins, a better bin, to the city bin. And then y'all keep changing with the garbage bins. And in the sense that when y'all keep changing to different companies, that's y'all change. I don't know where the money's coming from with the bins, the garbage bins. Who's paying for that? But in a sense, when y'all keep changing bins, and like say the citizens are paying for that, and when y'all keep changing it, y'all realize how many citizens out there are forking out how much money when y'all keep doing that. In a sense, and I think y'all should then switch to the recycling color, and I'll print it out to show y'all. But in a sense, this is actually would save y'all money and hassle of having people complain about bins. And doing a can of garbage can in color instead of having the company's logo on all that, and you don't have to sit there and worry about money put out every time. You just have one bin as a recycling bin, but you have it labeled as garbage. To me, in a sense, it'd be a lot of savings down the line. And if you had to go, y'all putting the money out for these. But if something happens, something happens down the line with this, then I would advise y'all to forward this. Instead of forward the garbage can with the city logo, and instead put out the money every freaking time. That's wasting our tax dollars every time if it's going from our tax dollars. And to me, it's not really fair. And y'all keep putting money out for new bins instead of using these bins. It's actually saving us money down the line. And to me, I feel strongly about that because I try to save myself, however kind of way. And in a sense, the city should do the same thing. Use the city color in the city logo, and just mark it as a garbage can. And when you have the recycling can and the garbage can in the same color, but mark it as a garbage can. And that way they know the difference. To me, I don't find that right to sit there and keep putting money out like that. And I don't care, and y'all can reach it, and this is gonna be our bin for going forward, with that company, and whoever company be down the line.
Mr. Condi, thank you so much, and your 3 minutes just expired. You did a good time coming up here first time today. I appreciate your thoughts, and I know that the city is very much aware of no one wants their items changed every couple of years, so we do have the recycle bin. And from my understanding with the new contract, the garbage cans are going to be owned by the city. So this issue should never happen again, regardless of providers changing in the future.
That's a part of the whole point. And they're going to need to stop and using our tax dollars just to replace bins. It ain't fair to us.
Okay. Thank you so much. Next up at the podium, we have Mr. Ryan Nugent. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
3 minutes, and we'll start now.
My name is Ryan Nugent. Well, thank you, Councilman Lahat. My name is Ryan Nugent. I live at 5444 Erlanger Road in District 3. I'd like to discuss a new development in District 3 that most people don't seem to be very excited about. Specifically, I'm referring to the new Circle K gas station being built at the corner of Williams and Vintage. I don't have anything against Circle K in particular, but once complete, this will be the 4th gas station in a 700-foot radius. This includes the brand new Star gas station that opened in 2023. Kenner doesn't have a lot of empty land left. Not only is this situation the very definition of terrible land use, but it also creates a cannibalistic business environment. Now, I understand that this project has been in development for a while and that it preceded the current council and administration. I also understand that we don't always get to choose what developers build. However, I'm here to suggest that there is more that we can do, and as usual, we can take cues from other cities around the country. Although we can't tell a developer what to build, we can tell a developer what they can't build. One common strategy used to tide the proliferation of dollar stores and gas stations in particular is to set a numeric limit on the number of said facilities citywide or in a particular district. This is most commonly enacted through council legislation, and it's something this council certainly has the power to do. Another common strategy is to prohibit the development of gas stations or other target facilities within a certain distance of facilities that already exist. In the case of Williams and Vintage, this would have avoided the situation we find ourselves in today, where, as I said, we'll soon have 4 gas stations within 700 feet of each other. So at this point, I'm actually going to switch gears and direct a couple questions real quick to the Parkways Department. Several years ago, the city completed a federally funded project that included planting several dozen trees along the new Erlanger walking trail. I live on Erlanger, and sadly, despite my attempts to bring attention to this issue previously, we have lost at least 1/3 of those trees to utter neglect. Unlike other Kenner tree installations, these trees have never seen maintenance, and it's been at least 4 years since they've even received mulch. As we prepare to enter into the spring season, my first question for Parkways is, can we get these trees some love this year? My second question pertains to Williams Boulevard and to the trees that were removed as part of last year's LADOTD roadway improvement project. We were told that new trees would be planted at some point, and I'd like to know if there's a timeline for the replacements. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Ryan. I'll start with Circle K first. So I'm very much always excited about getting new businesses in Kenner, especially my district. But you're right, that project with Mr. Vincent Carasi, the landowner, started well before my time, years ago, in project of planning. And the planning department, the code department, they go through lots of different variables and change orders and things and the specifications before that's even can be in the build phase. Started a long time ago. Do I want 4 gas stations next to each other? Absolutely not. I don't want that. Yes, there is some things we can do, and it's something that we do need to explore because there is not much land left. There's another spot on that property which I would love to get a Chick-fil-A there or something. My kids would love that. I'd love anything like that. And you know, George contacts restaurants and developers all the time to try to get their interest, and we all do that too. So it's just a matter of practicality, and I agree. Parkways, Amy's shaking her head back there that the trees are going to get some love this year.
Okay.
And that whole area has been, we have the development south of Vintage that we're doing with the 80/20 project, and obviously north of Vintage by you. We want to keep that pretty. And I think some residents have asked for an extra garbage can or 2 out there, which that's also something on my list. So
that'd be great.
Haven't forgotten.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming up here and reminding me. That's it on the list. Madam Clerk. Motion to adjourn.